Hey, if you're watching this, you're probably doing GCSEs and preparing for the next step, or you're at A-levels and want help from someone who is like you and in your position. Well, you've come to the right place, I hope. Disclaimer, I would like to quickly advise that I'm not qualified to give out any of this advice. I'm offering it purely as innocent help from one A-leveler to another, and the rest of my audience. Good luck. So instead of talking about the channel or my content, anything like that, I just want to quickly talk about my GCSE experience, how I picked A-levels, what I picked, just boring like that. This may be something you want to listen to, maybe, especially if you're in GCSEs right now. However, if that's not quite your thing and if you want to just skip over this part, I have put chapters on the video so you can just scroll to the next segment, which will be me talking about the channel. So, yeah. So I've picked computer science, media studies, and theatre studies for my A-level. Most schools around the UK like to make it difficult and confusing, so there will be different names for the same courses. See the courses here? But basically I'm doing computer science, media, and drama. And why did I pick them? Well, passion, really. I really enjoy and love computer science and drama, and I always have. For me, media acted as a middle ground, and if I go into the drama world in the future, being able to promote myself and understanding the media will be very important and helpful skills. I passed all of my GCSEs, so there wasn't much of a worry there. I'll get into that a bit more later. Moving on though, I've come to really like media actually. I really liked it before, but it wasn't always exactly my thing, but now I'm really enjoying the subject and I love everything I'm learning. However, I am starting to find computer science and mainly theory quite tricky. I think it's also just difficult in general adjusting to a new coding language. For GCSEs, I did Python, but at A-levels I've had to switch to Visual Basic, which is dead anyway and doesn't have much support. And support that is there isn't great. But let's not dwell on that. So yeah, those were my choices. Right, I'm gonna admit something. GCSEs are hella stressful. But, and this is a big but, they didn't feel real. I mean, personally, of course. I'm not sure how to explain it, but after doing so many mocks and getting used to that environment, it just felt like routine and another set of mocks. I get that it was important, and I know it's a big part of my life, but it just didn't feel quite right. Prom, on the other hand, is crazy. Please go to prom. It's such a beautiful night, and I remember mine. I'll never forget that. It was great. But yeah, anyway, GCSEs are stressful and made me revise properly for the first time, like, ever. I'm such a lazy person in general, and revising was so boring and I found it hard to concentrate. There's definitely ways around it. I don't want to say that there was no knowledge or skill involved, but I feel like I was quite lucky to pass my GCSEs. And I think if I can take anything away from it, like any new lesson, it's that in preparation for A-levels, I got to properly revise and learn genuinely how to. One thing that somewhat helped during my GCSE experience was revising with friends. Though I would not recommend only studying like this, if you're able to see it and understand properly, and be real with me, are you? Look out for any distractions. Do not exclusively revise with friends who are going to constantly distract you, be distracted, just talk the whole time, etc. It's okay to have breaks and such, but don't go to revise just to chat for hours because that is wasted time. All in all though, GCSEs just didn't feel quite real. The most I got in mine was a 6 or a B, and in my B-Techs I got a merit, I think, at max. Honestly, I deserve that distinction, but whatever. And that's also like a 5+ or a 6, so a B. Important thing to note, never think of GCSEs as not real. No matter how much it may feel like that, don't let the feeling take over. I kind of just wrote what I wanted in different emails and sent them off to different schools. No, I'm only joking, man. We like to have fun around here. So basically, I just looked at what I was passionate at, had a few meetings with my careers advisor, which I highly recommend you do, and eventually I made my choices. These did differ for all the schools that I applied to though, which I'll get back to in a second. First, let me say that I didn't really want to stay at the school that I did my GCSEs at. It wasn't as close to home as my new one is, it wasn't a great school, and I personally just like having a new change for steps in my life like this. So my first option was a different school for A-levels, which ran all of my courses. Unfortunately, the choices that I made sometimes fall into the same categories as they aren't the most common combos. So my second option was just college and to do a different course on its own, running whatever I don't do on the side. Then my final option was to go to a school where the options clashed and to just do something else. Ergo, stay at the school I was at for GCSEs. I'm so glad that I got into the school that I'm at now. I loved the look of it, I love the people I've met, and I'm very lucky to be doing all of the courses that I want and wanted to do. Okay, now, you're probably going to hear this from a few people, and it may sound silly coming from Mr. J-Level himself, but if you want to go to university, most people would agree that sixth form is highly preferable. It may be hard, and you may have near to no idea of what you want to do/be in the future, and that's okay. If you don't, it's definitely important that you consider that. Obviously, you don't have to, but research things. Look at what you like, do stuff like that. Again, you don't have to do this. Don't freak out about it, but, yeah. Do the thing that you want to do. That'll keep you happiest and support you the most. For me, I would like to go to university to continue studying. For other people, they'll want to skip out on college and A-levels and do apprenticeships. Everyone's different, and that's okay. It's important to keep in mind, as everyone will remind you, that A-levels are hard and are a lot of work. Just this week, I had like 10 hours of homework to do, mainly because I just let it pile up. Now I'm working on my timing, planning, schedules and stuff, but it's definitely important to remember that the jump from GCSEs to A-levels is supposed to be hard. So just to sum up and finalise, if you want to do A-levels, you have to lock in and stay focused. If you don't want to do A-levels, don't feel like you have to. Because honestly, you really must consider, will the next 2 years of hard work really be worth it? If you're not going to be happy doing it and or it won't help you, the answer is no, it won't be. One thing I definitely wish I knew before starting A-levels was how lonely I was going to be. For reference, all of my friends went to different places, whether that means college, just other sixth forms, etc. So I was really lonely. My drama class is really small, like really small. And sure, I was talking to people in my classes, but we didn't really hang out. So in my free periods, I was just alone, doing nothing. Well, studying, revising, whatever. I've made friends now, but that was really tricky for me, as I'm a very outgoing social person. Going from seeing my friends all the time to having no one there was hard. It was really hard for me. And you have to keep that in mind. I'm not saying change your options based on where your friends are going, but if you're going to be alone, check 100% if anyone else is going. And prepare yourself to be lonely and or make friends. Alright, that's enough about me. Let's talk about the channel and how that's going to work and all. So essentially, I want to upload general and subject-based videos. Obviously, this means that if you're not taking media and or drama and or computer science, most of my videos probably won't be for you. Of course, you can still visit if you find an idea interesting, and for the general tips, but that's just a little notice disclaimer thingy. Generally, I'll be talking about note-taking, listening in class, reminders about things, organization, and so much more. Subject-based, I'll be going over what it is that you need to know for the course, any requirements for sitting the papers, exams, how the next 2 years are going to be spent, resources to use, etc. I would also like to do mental health checkups every Friday. I know we as Generation Z seem to bang on and on about mental health, but it is important. So every Friday I wish to host a mental health checkup, just to talk about how our weeks have gone, how we feel, and I'll share some resources and information that I've gathered in the week. Okay, yeah, this is a big one. As an A-leveler, I'm very busy, and I have school in general, then I have clubs, friends, etc. Stuff to do, go to, go see, and so on and so forth. I could go on for a while. This YouTube channel is a means of helping other people as well as myself. So I will attempt to be consistent, but if I miss an upload or I'm being irregular, it's just because I'm busy. I will try to at least upload a mental health checkup fortnightly, if not weekly, so make sure to check the channel and look out for those every Friday. But other than that, I don't know how great I'll be. Sorry.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Okay, so this one's kind of important, but also not really. For my drama A-level, I have to study, understand, analyze, etc. Antigone, and the 3 Theban plays in general, but the other 2, are just for context. These consist of Oedipus Rex, or Oedipus the King, Oedipus at Colonus, and Antigone. But the one that I'm actually going over is Antigone. So because of this, I would like to make a short production of it. Nothing big, just voice acting and a bit of art. I will be attempting to make the score for it, have sound effects, sort out the art myself, etc. But for voice actors, I will be posting additional roles on Casting Cool Club, if that's something you're interested in. I will be doing videos for a brief explanation of Oedipus Rex, Oedipus the King, and Oedipus at Colonus, and then I'll attempt a full-length Antigone. Please do keep in mind that that may be hard to do, and may take some of my time, as well as the others that will work on it. So if I'm uploading even more regularly in periods of time, expect me to be working on that, as well as just living my life in general. It's going to be a big project, but I'm excited to see what I can do with it despite my lack of time, and I hope you are too. And yeah, that's all. Welcome to my channel. I'm not sure what to call you, but I've had some suggestions from a friend, so I'll just roll out the credits now, give you another video to go and watch, and maybe go check out my tips on note-taking. And with that being said, I'll see you later, Epic Jamers.